Hey, let's take a look at your LT4 assignment. Don't forget your name. That's extremely important. Can't give you credit if you don't have your name on it. On question number 1, Zach wants to do an indirect proof here, and he's going to assume that angle T is an obtuse angle. So which of the following? Well, we never mentioned anything about an isosceles triangle, so it's not A. We never mentioned anything about an equilateral triangle. It's not B. We never mentioned anything about parallel lines, so it's not C. The sum of the angles is 180. That kind of makes sense because we're going to have to do something with angles. Let's look at DE. Oh, we're not doing anything with vertical angles, so just by process of elimination, our choice is D. If we take a look at question number 2 here, we have Ava wants to use an indirect proof in a scaling triangle to have two congruent angles. And we're going to assume angle J and angle K. So we're probably going to use something with isosceles or something about, something with isosceles. So if we take a look here, we're not going to use the fact that it's an equilateral triangle. We're not going to use that at all. There, choice G. If two angles are congruent, then the sides opposite them are congruent. We're going to do that so we can show it's not a scaling triangle, so we get our contradiction. Okay, on question 3, we have Ava with an A instead of an H, and she's going to do an indirect proof, and she's supposed to prove that angle P is less than 45. So our assumption is going to be the opposite. The opposite doesn't mean the same, doesn't mean equal. Greater than might be, you might think that's it, but the opposite of less than is not greater than. The opposite of less than is greater than or equal to. So the correct choice should be P on that one. On question number 4, we're looking at Jack again, and he's going to write an indirect proof this time. And he wants to do a supplementary in a triangle. Well, we're going to probably use something about the angles of a triangle, aren't we? So we're going to use the fact that they add up to 180. That's kind of like our first choice, isn't it? We're not going to use complementary because that has nothing to do with it. We're not using parallel lines. And we're not using equal sides or anything, although we might. Our assumption has to do with supplementary, so that has nothing to do with being equal. So our correct choice would be T on this one.